Lies. Every billionaire origin story you've ever heard is a lie. Jeff Bezos didn't start in a garage. Elon Musk didn't build himself from nothing. And Kylie Jenner, don't even get me started. The media sold you the American dream and you bought it. They told you anyone can become a billionaire if you just work hard enough, wake up at 4 a.m. and drink green juice made by a guy named Brad. But I did the math, and what I found will make you realize you've been played. Most of these self-made billionaires, they started with more money than you'll make in 10 lifetimes. Today we're ranking every major billionaire by how much help they actually got. From S tier, the unicorns who actually earned it, all the way to F tier. F tier, the gaslight tier. Reserved for people who inherited everything and convinced you they didn't. You're not broke because you're lazy. You're broke because they changed the rules before you even knew there was a game. Let's expose them. Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder. The bald guy who went to space because he ran out of things to buy. The story is legendary. He quit his job, drove across the country, started selling books out of his garage. Look at this garage. It's humble. It's gritty. Perfect. Started from the bottom vibes. But here's what they don't tell you. In 1995, Jeff's parents invested nearly $250,000 into Amazon. Adjusted for inflation, that's over $500,000 today. That's buy a house in cash money. That's not scrappy startup money. And before the garage, Jeff was a senior vice president at a hedge fund. He was already rich. He was making bank on Wall Street. The risk he took wasn't that high. If Amazon failed, he wasn't going homeless. He would have just gone back to banking and made another million the next year. The psychological difference between if I fail, I die, and if I fail, I go back to my six-figure job is massive. It lets you take risks normal people can't. B tier, he executed perfectly, built a monster, but he had a $500,000 safety net and a golden resume. He didn't start from the mud. Elon Musk. If you go on Twitter, his fans will tell you he's real-life Iron Man. They say he sleeps on the factory floor, works 120 hours a week. And sure, the guy's a workaholic, I'll give him that. But the self-made narrative? We need to talk about the emeralds. Elon grew up in apartheid South Africa. His father owned a stake in an emerald mine in Zambia. There are interviews where his dad literally says, "We had so much money, we couldn't close the safe." He tells a story about Elon and his brother walking around New York with emeralds in their pockets. Just loose gems, like spare change. Imagine that problem. Oh no, my pockets are too heavy from all these precious stones. When Elon started Zip2, his dad gave him about $28,000. In the 90s, that's like $50,000 today. Not millions, but a nice cushion. And let's not forget, he didn't found Tesla. He invested in it and then sued the original founders to legally be called a founder. That's like buying a painting and telling everyone you're Picasso just because you own the canvas now. C tier, he turned millions into billions, which is mathematically impressive. Most people who inherit money just buy yachts. Elon built spaceships, so credit for the multiplier. But he spawned in with max stats and a full inventory. Bill Gates, the OG nerd. The story is he dropped out of Harvard to build Microsoft in a motel room. Sounds gritty, right? But here's the plot twist. Bill's mom served on a board of directors alongside the CEO of IBM. In 1980, IBM was the god of computers. If IBM used your software, you won the lottery. Bill's mom literally walked up to the CEO of IBM and said, "My son has this company called Microsoft, you should look at it." That's the ultimate my mom knows the manager move. That one conversation set Bill up for life. Also, Bill went to a private school that had a computer terminal in 1968. Do you know how rare that was? That's like a high school today having a quantum computer in the cafeteria. He had thousands of hours of practice before most people knew what a microchip was. B tier, he's a genius, but he had the golden ticket. He ran the race faster than anyone, but he started halfway down the track. Mark Zuckerberg. The story goes, broke college student, Harvard dorm room, created Facebook, changed the world. But let's look at the pregame. Mark went to Phillips Exeter Academy. Tuition is about $60,000 a year. That's more than the average American household makes in a year. His dad was a dentist, his mom was a psychiatrist. Upper middle class, highly educated. And here's the part that's crazy. When Mark was a kid, his dad hired a private software developer to come to the house and tutor him. You're out here learning Python from a guy on YouTube recording on a potato mic. Mark had a private professional tutor. It's like playing Call of Duty, but you have aimbot and everyone else is using a Guitar Hero controller. Then at Harvard, he had access to an exclusive network of wealthy students and investors like Peter Thiel. B tier, smart guy. But he didn't struggle, he didn't starve, he had every advantage from day one. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, he eats McDonald's and drinks 5 Cokes a day, which proves that having $1 billion makes your arteries immune to grease. Warren's known as the greatest investor of all time. And honestly, he kinda is. He didn't invent a product, he just understood math better than everyone. But was he poor? No. His dad was a stockbroker and a US congressman. When Warren was a kid, he hung out at his dad's brokerage firm. He was reading books on investing at age 7. He bought his first stock at 11. While most kids were playing with toys, Warren was analyzing financial reports. His dad's connections helped him get into elite schools and meet the right people. However, he didn't inherit a massive fortune. He inherited knowledge and access. A tier. Yes, he had a good spawn point, but he turned $1 middle-class life into $100 billion just by being smarter than everyone for 80 years straight. That's a grind I can respect. He didn't use a cheat code, he just read the manual really well. Okay, I'm getting depressed talking about rich kids. Let's switch it up. Let's talk about someone who actually started on nightmare difficulty. Oprah. Oprah was born into deep poverty in Mississippi. She wore dresses made from potato sacks. She dealt with abuse, racism, teenage pregnancy, literally every obstacle the universe could throw at her. She got a job in radio, worked her way to TV, and turned a failing talk show in Chicago into the biggest media empire on the planet. She didn't have a rich dad. She didn't have a mom on IBM's board. She didn't have emeralds in her pocket. She had a microphone and a personality people became addicted to. She built a multi-billion-dollar net worth from absolute zero. Actually, from below zero. S tier. Absolute S tier. This is what self-made looks like. If you want to idolize a billionaire, pick this one. She played the game without any power-ups and still got the high score. And now, the reason I made this video, we need to talk about Kylie Jenner. A few years ago, Forbes put her on the cover and called her the youngest self-made billionaire. And the entire internet said, "Are you high?" Kylie Jenner, from the Kardashian family. She was on a global reality TV show since she was a child. She had millions of followers before she ever started a business. Her mom managed everything. Let's do the math. If I launch a lipstick brand, nobody cares. But if Kylie launches a lipstick brand, she has 100 million people ready to buy it immediately because they saw it on TV. She had free marketing, free manufacturing connections, and unlimited capital. Calling her self-made is like me winning a 100-meter dash, where I start 1 inch from the finish line and you start in a different country, underwater, with weights on your ankles. It's disrespectful to the dictionary. It's delusional. It's gaslighting on a global scale. F tier, the generational wealth tier. The I was born on home plate and thought I hit a home run tier. Get her out of here. Alright, there's the full ranking. S tier, Oprah. Actually self-made. The rest, various levels of rich kid privilege. Look, I'm not saying these people aren't smart. Most of them are. But starting with $500,000 and elite connections isn't the same as starting with nothing. It's the difference between playing on easy mode with cheat codes and playing on nightmare difficulty blindfolded. So next time someone tells you just work harder or anyone can be a billionaire, remember this video. The reason you're not a billionaire isn't because you're not grinding enough. It's because you weren't born into the right family. If this video pissed you off, good. Hit the like button. Drop a comment telling me which billionaire you think I got wrong. I'm ready for the Elon fanboys, and subscribe because next week I'm ranking every tech company by how evil they are. Spoiler, it's all of them. But honestly, the real question is, how did Forbes look at Kylie Jenner, born into the Kardashian family with a TV show and 100 million followers, and think, yeah, that's self-made. Like, what drugs were they on? And more importantly, where can I get some?